Hello, I'm Herm Gailey, and one of my goals in life is to get kids off their computers and back onto horses. So when I got a call from Tia Long about joining her at her summer horse camp for a morning to demonstrate some horse techniques to kids, my friend Slim and I were definitely in. What follows is a segment showing what I have been told by my school teacher daughter is a somewhat unconventional and mildly politically incorrect approach to teaching kids. The good news is there were no casualties. Here we go. And I've had horses just about my whole life. I am not a professional horse trainer, but I've been training my own horses for 40 or 50 years. And for a while, I was doing it full time, and then I got involved in another occupation and just have done this for my own enjoyment. And if I can pass some of that on today, that's kind of my goal. So everybody has a story, and I'm not going to tell you any more of mine, but this guy's name is Slim. He's got a registered name, but I couldn't tell you what it is because around the barn, he's just Slim. He had that name, or got that name, because when we got him, he was a little over 200 pounds lighter than he is right now. And I mean, if you wanted to know what his bone structure was like, you could count every bone. So he was sort of a semi-rescue that I figured, well, I'll give this horse a chance and maybe get him riding and find somebody who'd like him. Problem is, when I had him for a little bit, he said, hey, I don't want to leave. You know, you got a job? And I said, well, what job can you do? And he said, what do you got? And that's kind of the guy that he is. He's become my go-to horse. You know, if somebody says, hey, come to some place you've never been with a lot of folks you don't know and do a little demonstration, I figure he's not gonna make a fool out of me or hopefully out of himself. And that's a great gift. When he was only he's 5 years old now. I've had him 2 years. He probably had 90 days of riding. The pandemic hits, no horse shows. So my wife and I started trail riding just about every weekend. And I didn't have a decent trail horse. So I said, well, that's something I got. And he went everywhere last year and into this year. And he just faced it. And so, you know, he gets high marks. When I needed to pony my yearlings, lead them around, get them loosened up, I didn't really have a good pony horse. I thought, well, he said he was looking for a job, so we did that. You know, I was at a clinic and I needed to run a flag to move some horses around. Well, I knew I could flop that flag around on him and he wouldn't even change expression. So any job I've got, he tries. He's not super talented. And he's not super fancy. I mean, to me, he's not ugly, but if somebody said he was, I wouldn't have real good arguments against it. You know, he's just sort of plain. But he kind of grows on you. So what I said was I needed help for some able-bodied people. I've got 2 buckets there. One of them is full of brushes. And you've got a couple brushes there too. Yeah, if you want to bring them down, Abigail, that'd be great. And I'm going to gradually learn names, but you guys have the advantage of me for now. So here's another question for you guys. Why do you think I moved him around on the ground before I brought you guys in to work with him? Any idea why that might make sense? Zoe, you got thoughts. Okay, fire away.
So he isn't as gawky and fidgety, and that way he's less freaked out by more people around.
Yeah, that's exactly right. I don't want him jumping in the middle of anybody. I don't think he would. But, you know, if you don't want your pants to fall off, don't just wear a belt, wear suspenders too. So I wear a belt and suspenders when I work with these younger horses so they don't do something that shows my backside. So having made that wonderful analogy, come on out and I need volunteers to do different tasks with him. Who wants to handle the head end? Because I'm going to step back and just give orders. Looks like you're on top of things. Okay. So you're running the head. Who wants a body brush?
Hi.
Another body brush. We're gonna go all over him.
I think you're adorable.
Another body brush. Another body brush. We're gonna run out of body before we run out of people. There you go. And how many more people do we got? Okay, so mane and tail?
Yes.
You got mane and tail. Which kind do you think you'd like?
I'll use this.
I like the round ones too. How about, which kind would you like? And we got somebody, anybody doesn't have a tool? Okay, so why don't we have like one person start brushing him? You go ahead. What's your name that you got your hand on it? What's your name?
I'm Christina.
Christina, why don't you and Zoe start brushing him first? This Zoe here. Just start brushing over him. What you'll want to do, since you have a mane brush, let's start at the head end. So you guys, oh, I need a body brusher. Tall girl, I'm a tall guy. What's your name?
Bryn.
Bryn. You can start brushing his body down. And then, you know how to, yeah, I've got junk in there. Do you know what that'll pull out? So just sort of, I'll tell you the best way to do manes and tails is start way down at the bottom where it's not so thick, and then work your way up. If you start up here, you're going to be pulling hair out. So those are the mane and tails. Everybody just gather around and start brushing on this critter. It'll only help him, and it'll only be useful. Now be careful ducking under a horse like that, Christina. Christina, be careful when you duck under his neck like that, because if he jumped forward, what you're known as is toast. So we don't want that to happen. I have no reason to think he'd do that, but that's that belt and suspenders thing again. And you can see, as the old-time Pennsylvania Dutch fellows would say, his mane's kind of strubbly. So Christina, go ahead and work on his mane there, because Zoe got a start on it. Yeah, and at the tail, start way down at the end. And everybody just find a job to do. I mean, you can brush 1 square inch and it'll be the cleanest square inch I've ever had. See, and I was thinking of bringing one of my 2-year-olds. I figured if I brought one of them, they'd darn sure get used to a lot of people in a hurry.